Hey, it's Tara. Today I'm going to be doing the coffee shop book tag. It was originally done by Gio Navas. Navas? I'm sorry. And I was tagged by the Bookswatch. Alright, so first is Iced Coffee, your favorite horror novel. I don't read a lot of horror, so I went with something kind of horror-y, which is World War Z by Max Brooks. You know, it's a zombie novel written in the style of a historical documentary, I guess. And it's really chilling, but really good, and so yes, that will be my horror choice. Next is Hot Panini. Panino? Panini? Is Panino a thing? I see. The most frustrating sexual tension between two characters. I'm going with the Harry Potter series for this because Ron and Hermione. I don't remember when they started liking each other. Maybe book 3? I don't know really. Anyways, all of the teasing and the insulting and the you've got a girlfriend, no you've got a boyfriend, no I don't know what's going on, and then, you know, the hospital room. Anyways, Ron and Hermione, Harry Potter. Next is the Arnold Palmer, your favorite collaboration. That one's easy. That's Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. It's hilarious. Alright, next is Fizzy Juice, a book with a cool premise that fell kind of flat. For this one I chose Armed Memory by Jim Young. It's a cyberpunk novel that was published I think in the 80s or the 90s, I don't remember. But it's got a lot of really cool genetic manipulation and biotechnology and stuff like that, but it was terrible. It was a really terrible book. But it was such a cool idea. Like, I was very disappointed. Next is Frappuccino, a book you don't understand the hype about. I'm going to go with Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. It's your typical, you know, teen novel with the super special young lady who, you know, I don't exactly know what she does actually. I feel like I've just forced myself to forget the book because I really didn't enjoy it that much. But anyways, I thought the main character was too inconsistent and the story was kind of boring. So yeah, I don't understand the hype. It's got like 4.2 stars on Goodreads and almost 80,000 ratings. I don't get it. Next is Vanilla Latte, a sweet book that makes you smile. For me, there are maybe a few choices, but I decided on 84 Charing Cross Road. It's the story of a book buyer and a bookseller, and their communication over the years. One is in America, the buyer is in America, and the shop is in England, and it's their letters over, I think it spans like 2 decades or something like that, and their relationship, and it's really sweet, and you know, as a book reader I can sort of empathize with this lady's need for books and the relationship she has with her seller. So next is A Banana Nut Muffin, a nutty character that makes you laugh. I went way back for this one. I chose Amelia Bedelia from the Amelia Bedelia series by Peggy Parrish. She's this lady who takes everything literally. Like when she's asked to make a date cake, she cuts up a calendar and like puts the dates into the cake mix, or same with a sponge cake and things like that. So she takes things super literally, and it was always interesting to read about her adventures, or I guess her misadventures. And I think last year I bought one or two of the books and sent them to my 8-year-old cousin because nothing like passing it on. Next is Peppermint Mocha, a bittersweet ending to a book or series. I read a lot of books with bittersweet endings, but I guess the first one that came to mind was the Book of Lost Things by John Connolly, about a young boy in World War I, I think it was? World War II? Anyways, his father is fighting in the war, and it's about his struggle to come to terms with the darkness of the time. I don't know, but it's a really great book, and the ending was bittersweet. Next is Chocolate Covered Nuts, a plot twist that got you. I'm choosing The Blind Assassin. I know I've already talked about this one, and its plot twist, but I don't read a lot of books with plot twists, or I usually see them coming, so they don't usually get me, but The Blind Assassin totally got me. Next is Black Coffee, a book that makes your soul feel black, or a book that made you cry. I cry at so many books, but the one that made me feel black was maybe the one I just finished, The Fifties by David Halberstam. The book is just, it's a historical whatever about the 50s, and while most of it was fun and informational, there were, you know, chapters on segregation and the war in Vietnam and the aftermath of World War II and stuff like that mixed in with it all, and there were several times where I had to put the book down because I was crying and I just felt like humanity is a horrible, horrible thing, and it was bad. But, of course, I also think that humanity is a wonderful thing. I just wish we were nicer to each other. So yeah, the 50s. Next is Espresso, an intense book that kept you on your toes or awake. I'm going with The Long Tomorrow by Leigh Brackett. This book was published in 1955, and it is a post-nuclear Holocaust book about some Mennonite boys chasing their dreams through a broken landscape. It was, I believe I stayed up late reading it, and I just couldn't stop turning the pages. And yes, if you're into like nuclear Holocaust, post-apocalypse sort of books, that is one that I would definitely recommend. Next is Lemon Square, a sour scene that made you cringe from secondhand embarrassment. I feel like there are so many of these because I read a lot of urban fantasy, so in any case I decided to go with The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare because, just because. Then we have the Americano, your favorite classic. My favorite classic is Little House on the Prairie by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I must have read this series like 5 times. I love it, and it's killing me that my physical copies are, you know, in boxes back in America, but there is no ebook format, so I can't read them, and I have been craving reading them. Like, I can't even express to you how much I've been craving reading them. Next is A New Flavor, an awesome book that you have yet to discuss on BookTube. I'm going to be talking about this one later because it is one of my favorite books and I want more people to read it. It's Mainline by Deborah Christian. It's also kind of a cyberpunk novel about a woman who's an assassin who can shift herself through different realities in order to pick the best choice, and it's fantastic. I love that book, so yeah. So that was the coffee shop book tag. It was a lot of interesting research and remembering for me because I can't remember back very easily, and I was trying to pick books that I'd read that I hadn't talked about recently, and you know, things like that. So I had a lot of fun with it, and So I guess all that's left is tagging. I've never tagged anyone before. I guess this time I'm going to tag Sabrina over at Steakachino and Jane at Yes Miss Jane. I'd be interested in hearing their takes on these tags, and I don't think that they have done it yet. So anyways, thanks for watching. Until next time.